Hello, TimberSurf here with a little overview of my latest 3D printing setup. As you can see, I have my original white Photon S that I've had for about a year, and I've very recently bought an Elegoo Saturn mono printer, the red one. So the production line works from left to right, and once I've loaded in the file and it's been printed, the next thing is to remove the item from the build plate. So I have a selection of scrapers to take the product off the plate, metal ones that is, which got quite a sharp edge that allows me to scrape underneath the bottom of the base of the item and remove it. The plastic spatula that you can see is something that can be used in the vat, the little tank that the resin goes in, allows you to check that there's nothing stuck on the bottom. You can stick that in the resin and it's not a problem. I use an ordinary baking tray with a lining of tissue paper that absorbs the gooey bits so that you're not dipping things back into liquid. They kind of absorb it and spread it out so that you're not in a liquid wet tray, and there are 3 of them so that I can capture all those wet things, although the table is covered with a kind of plastic cloth sheet to protect it. So once the item has been removed, we now need to clean it up. So it goes to our cleanup area where I have 2 baths or vats of IPA. The first one being the general get all the excess resin off, and what I use is an old sieve to put the items in. That way I don't have to dip my hands in the liquid, and I can insert into the IPA, give it a swoosh around with a brush so that it's agitated, as it were, and I can then transfer that sieve into the second rinse to a final cleaning to take away the last remnants of the resin off the item. This setup is specifically for standard resin that can only be can't be cleaned with water. You've got to use IPA and put your gloves on, and it's all messy and sticky. It's not ideal, so you end up with sticky bits, and we basically treat items as being dirty or clean in terms of whether or not they've got resin on them, and obviously you have to clean everything frequently to get residues off. So I've always got an IPA spray bottle handy and copious quantities of tissue paper to help clean things up. But there is an alternative. The new kid on the block is a resin which is actually water washable, meaning that it's not hazardous to your health and you can get it on your hands, and obviously that makes life a lot easier. It also means that I can clean it in a slightly different way. Rather than manually swishing it around in a bucket of IPA, I can put it into my ultrasonic cleaner, which does a much better job of removing all the resin out of the very small spaces inside the item that you're trying to clean. So it's a matter similar that the product can be put either into the basket or into, if it's very small, a sieve, and simply immersed in the ultrasonic cleaner for about 5 minutes, and it comes out completely clean of all the resin. And then the last stage is to cure the item. It needs to be hardened and set with UV light. So I built basically a biscuit tin and put in 5 meters of UV lighting, and underneath the tin lid, the round one, is actually a little light activated turntable, and I actually use a piece of cling film over the top of the lid, because if you try and UV cure things on metal or some other material, they tend to stick, which makes it difficult to remove. But I found that leaving them on a film of cling film allows you to remove them without any effort whatsoever. And then it's a matter of setting the timer to about 10 minutes, putting the lid back on, which I'm not showing here, and eventually, after the time's up, it goes diddling, and I can remove the item and it's now ready to go. So when I want to change resins, you need to empty the vat of the resin back into the bottles, and there's a chance that there are some loose foreign articles or bits floating around in it. So the process is to open the bottle and put a funnel in it with a filter, a paper filter that's specifically bought for these resin printers. The problem is that the one that I've got for the not so nice resin is just something I bought online, and the filter doesn't really fit very well, and the funnel kind of flops around in the bottle and you kind of need 3 hands. So I've recently designed my own funnel, specifically the right size, as you can see on the right, the red one, which fits the bottle perfectly and it fits the filter perfectly, and that's the one I'm currently using for the water washable, and I need to print another one for the resin and get rid of that nasty little rubbery blue one. So the blue one is the dirty funnel and equipment. So you can see I've got tweezers and a brush that I use for cleaning. Anything that's going anywhere near the resin goes into that little tub because it's effectively contaminated and you shouldn't touch it with your hands. And I've also got this little scraper which I designed myself and printed, which is useful for scraping out the odd failures out of the vat of liquid. I can scrape them along the bottom and remove any foreign objects out of it. I actually need to design a new one that's the full width, and then I can just do a scrape in one go. And then obviously we've got a toolbox which has got the Allen keys in for adjusting and tweaking the printers, and some cutters and scissors and a knife for cleaning off the items and taking all the supports away. So as you can see here, the pile of bits is being processed where I'm taking off all the supports. So there you have it, my little 3D printing production line. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.